Good morning, everyone. Most of North Carolina has gotten through the worst of the storm, but we need to stay vigilant. We're not out of the woods yet. This storm dropped staggering amounts of snow, ice, and rain across our state. A year's worth of snowfall or more fell in some places in little more than a day. With a mix of snow, ice, and rain still coming down in some areas, conditions remain treacherous in many parts of our state. And with cold temperatures today and freezing nights ahead, the snow and ice and the danger may not go away as quickly as they came. Colder temperatures tonight could turn wet and slushy roads into ice rinks tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, the snow has turned into a nightmare and a tragedy for some, claiming at least 2 lives. A man was killed yesterday in Matthews when a tree fell on his truck, and in Haywood County, a woman living at home on hospice care passed away during the storm. Medical examiners are also investigating another possible storm-related death in Yadkin County. We mourn them and offer their loved ones our deepest sympathies. The combination of heavy wet snow, ice, and gusty winds led to more than 144,000 households without power still as of 10 a.m. this morning. That's down from a peak of a little more than 250,000. I know it's frustrating to be without power, particularly when it's so cold. Utility crews, including many from out of state, are working hard to restore power, and I appreciate their dedication. And I know many of you have spent a couple of days cooped up at home, and this morning you're looking forward to getting back out there and at it again. Please let Mother Nature and our DOT crews finish clearing roads before you venture out. First responders stand ready to assist you as needed, but don't risk your safety and theirs by making them come to your rescue. Even the parts of our state that didn't see a single flake may feel effects from the storm today. Flood watches, warnings, and advisories are in effect in coastal communities throughout the day, and in the Outer Banks, water is expected to wash over portions of North Carolina Highway 12. Minor flooding is expected along the Neuse River at Kinston and the Lumber River in Lumberton. This morning, 76 school districts are closed and 10 more are operating on delayed schedules. DOT crews are hard at work clearing roads. They made good progress on some major routes on Sunday, but with more snow falling, they're having to be back out there again. Next, they'll focus on secondary roads. The state of emergency for North Carolina remains in effect. Our National Guard troops are activated with 172 Guard members and 69 vehicles deployed to respond to the storm. And they have been assisting in many ways, from pulling out stuck vehicles to helping EMS crews transport people to the hospital. We appreciate our Guard members for answering the call to serve yet again. 15 shelters are still open for people in need, mainly in western North Carolina. And if you need to find a shelter, you can look up the locations on the free Ready NC mobile app. I am deeply grateful to the road crews, the first responders, and the line workers who have put in long hours to keep North Carolinians warm and safe. As the ice melts and the roads clear up, I want to ask everyone's continued cooperation, and I want to ask them to help each other. If you're home from work or school today, I want to encourage you to take a few steps to stay safe. If you've lost power, remember never to use gas-powered generators or other fuel-burning devices indoors. Unfortunately, over the years, we have seen people hurt or killed by carbon monoxide poisoning caused by using generators indoors. And we don't want anybody else falling victim to it. Keep your pets indoors during cold weather, and remember to check on loved ones and neighbors, especially seniors, when you can do so safely. Stay off snow or ice-covered roads, and if you absolutely have to drive, check road conditions before you leave at drivenc.gov. Please take time to clear snow and ice off your car, drive slowly, leave plenty of room between you and other vehicles, and be safe. Also, watch out for deadly black ice, especially late tonight and tomorrow morning. More winter weather safety tips are available at that same app, readync.org. I know it's early for our state to be hit hard by such a winter storm, but it's an important reminder that we must always be ready for whatever comes our way. Our state's organized, experienced response to emergencies like this storm and Hurricanes Florence and Michael has been effective. And in the coming months, we will not let our guard down. Here with me today is North Carolina's team responding to this storm. We have our Secretary of Public Safety, Eric Hooks, our Deputy Secretary of Transportation, Bobby Lewis, our Emergency Management Director, Mike Sprayberry, Adjutant General Todd Hunt of the North Carolina National Guard. We have the Commander of the Highway Patrol, Colonel Glenn McNeil, and my American Sign Language interpreter is Lee Williamson today. We'll first hear from our Emergency Management Director, Mike Sprayberry. Mike?
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone. As a significant winter storm continues to affect much of western and central North Carolina, we're still decisively engaged in response operations. The state EOC, our North Carolina Emergency Management Regional Coordinating Centers, and many county EOCs remain activated as we work together to provide needed disaster response capability to all impacted areas. Many state and local resources are deployed throughout western and central North Carolina as they support numerous life safety missions to include sheltering, road patrol, and wellness checks. Our state agencies, volunteers, utilities, and private sector continue to work hard to mitigate the storm's impacts. We've seen many accidents on our roadways due to dangerous travel conditions. If you don't need to travel, please stay off the roads. Don't endanger yourself and the ones that are assigned to rescue you. As always, follow the instructions of your local officials and stay tuned to your local media to make sure that you have situational awareness. And thank you for your support of the North Carolina State Emergency Response Team. Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, Mike. The Deputy Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Transportation, Bobby Lewis. Bobby?
Thank you, Governor. Good morning to everyone, I'd like to give you what our current stats are today. We have 2,300 employees working on snow and ice, 1,600 pieces of equipment, nearly 1,000 contractors called in to assist, 35,000 tons of salt and sand have already been utilized. We continue all efforts until roads are clear. Obviously, our first priority is our primary system, and we will continue to get to the secondary system. And as you know, with snow falling, we continue our efforts on the interstate system as well. We do have crews that are moving from the eastern part of the state to the western counties in the state. Road conditions are extremely challenging west and north of I-85. Some interstates are still partially covered with snow. We have nearly 2,000 trees that are down. We continue to work with power companies and contractors along with our forces to remove these trees so we can open these roadways and restore power. When you look at this snow event, you see that there's statewide impacts. For example, NC-12 in Dare County is covered with sand due to tidal overwash due to high tide. US 70 on the Neuse River had a tractor trailer go into the river that recently got removed, and we have crews on site to try to repair that bridge as quick as possible and restore traffic on US 70 in Lenoir County. I also like to point out that due to the overcast, the continued snowfall, and sub-freezing temperatures tonight, as the governor indicated. We expect black ice in the morning, so please stay off the roadways. If you must travel, please check drivenc.gov. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Now the commander of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, Colonel Glenn McNeil.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. Members of the State Highway Patrol continue to respond to traffic collisions and calls for assistance as a direct response for this winter weather event. Our troopers are working closely with our local authorities and state partners to identify and remedy hazardous conditions along our roadways. The Highway Patrol, since this storm has started, has responded to 672 collisions and 1,571 calls for service from the onset of this storm. For those of you who must travel on today, please realize that the potential for danger is very real. Don't let your guard down. Please heed the warnings that Governor Cooper has just given. Our Department of Transportation is working diligently to clear these roadways. But don't assume that because a road has been scraped, that is completely free of hazards. The potential for downed trees in roadways and areas of refreezing moisture should be at the forefront if you are traveling. Please maintain a safe speed as you have to go out and about and travel. Our roads are dangerous. Black ice can sneak up at a moment, so please be careful if you must be out and about. Continue to utilize drivenc.gov for up-to-date roadway conditions for your planned routes. I want to thank all of our first responders and especially our state troopers for all the great work that you've done over the last 2 days, keeping our roadways safe. Your actions have not gone unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Now Brigadier General Todd Hunt of the North Carolina National Guard.
Thank you, Governor, and I would like to give a quick update on the National Guard's activities as we know them today. We have expanded our operations into Merriam, Mount Airy, and Yadkinville. Over the last 24 hours, we've continued to provide road assistance with our partnerships with DOT and the North Carolina State Highway Patrol and local services. Our main efforts right now have been on Interstate 77, Interstate 85, and around the Greensboro area. We understand road conditions are tough, and we are, again, with our team and partners, helping the citizens. Besides from our normal road assistance, a good news story in the last 12 hours, we were notified of 5 families in the North Wilkesboro area who were stranded without power and small children. We were able to drive on impassable roads. We rescued and took those families, approximately 20 people, to a shelter. This is a good news story as we've done this in the past. Again, our citizen soldiers and airmen are also taking care of the citizens of North Carolina. And with that, I'd like to commend them for putting their lives on hold and their events on hold to help their fellow citizens of North Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take questions that you might have.
I'm sure we'd all be interested in any more details on that rescue operation. If they could be made available, I don't know about now or later. Maybe what shelter they were taken to and if they're still there.
If you got details, General, you want us to just get them to you? All right, we'll get them to you.
If I could ask a question about road conditions. And I understand we're dealing with a broad geography here, so maybe if we could speak to Metro Raleigh and Durham and then maybe talk about further west as well. It seems like it was a little dicier today than it was after the rain started coming down yesterday. Do you expect roads to be more like they were yesterday as it warms up a little bit and as the rain comes in, or what are we looking at comparing today to yesterday?
I'll let Deputy Secretary Lewis take that one.
I think yesterday with the ongoing rain, that helped us out quite a bit. The temperatures are a little lower, so I would anticipate it would not be as favorable as it was yesterday afternoon.
Any other questions? Gary?
Governor, I wasn't here yesterday, but I saw in a story that in the I-70, excuse me, the US 70 wreck with the truck, that they were searching for the driver. Or is there an update on that?
Colonel McNeil?
Thank you. The cab of the truck has been recovered and removed from the river. However, the driver has not been located. From the information that we obtained this morning, the dive team will continue their ongoing search efforts to try to recover the body. But as of this press conference, the body has not been recovered.
Further questions? Okay, we'll let you know when we're coming back. Thank you very much for your attention.